Hello, and thank you for watching. Welcome to what is going to be the new part 4 in the To Shell I'm Back Again series. Previous part 4, I guess I didn't make it clear enough that this is for a video game called Greyhack and does not involve real hacking or real information security. Again, this is for a video game called Greyhack. So YouTube bots and monitors and whomever else is analyzing this, pay attention. This is for a video game. So, moving on. In this video, I wanted to go over again just some basic missions. It's been requested to do some of the police viewer or academic records or whatever the other one is. I forget maybe it's the hiring manager one. I don't remember. But anyway, one of the ones where you have to go and actually run a program on the target computer to like change a grade or remove a criminal record or something like that. So we're going to try a couple of those. They are kind of buggy right now. Sometimes they don't work. You get a configuration error, and there's, as far as I know anyway, there's no way to prevent or fix that. So I know it's been reported several times, and hopefully there will be a fix. So we're going to try it anyway. Hopefully we can get lucky and get one that's not bugged. So let's get started. First thing, I'm going to open up a browser, go to the hack shop. Apparently I don't have one saved anyway, so I'll grab one real quick, and then we'll get a job. So, alright, so we got an easy one here. So let's do a Rep 0 police record. We'll grab one of those. We'll do an academic changes, get one of those, and that's probably it for now. That should be enough. Alright, so we'll get started. So first one here, what is this? This is great, academic record. So let's take a look. We've got a public IP address here. We've got a local IP address here for the target. Let's see what we get. I've already got shell running. We'll start with probe. Alright, several SQL servers, it looks like, including one or two actually, and a port 80 on the target machine. So, alright, let's start with those. We'll use target-p to set the port to 3306, which is the student viewer on 18.2. So that should get us directly onto the target. Let's see. So I'll use meta for this, just in case we have to hack any local libraries for a root shell, although I don't expect we will need to, but let's just try it. So we'll do meta link after setting the target. Can't connect to net session. Oh, it's a closed port. Okay, it's routed, but it's closed. So, alright, let's do port 80. Target-p 80 for port 80. We'll try meta link again. That establishes the net session. And then, alright, so we got libhttp 133. So let's do meta scan. It gives us our addresses and insecure values. We got to hit enter to get back to the prompt. And then we can do roil to just fire all the exploits. So looks like we got a couple of guest shells. We've got a user computer for the Zecop user. Interesting name. And that's all, but that's plenty. Guest shell is plenty. So we go over here to malp. We'll hit 5 to get into the buffer. We'll grab one of our guest shells, which at index 1. We'll upload the rootkit, which is with 3. Yes, we run silently, no parameters, and all right, now we're a shell. We're running on the target now. So let's do brutus. Brute force the root password very fast. got the root password here, umperfluf, I don't know, umperfl. And then Brutus automatically puts a root shell in the buffer. So that's good. And I want to show you something. So it says here, saving root password as index and custom object access via cob command. So we don't actually have to like keep track of this password. I mean, we can, but we don't have to. The way we can review it later, it says it's saving it as an index in the custom object. In shell, if you use cob, which is the interface for get custom object, and then you pass it the indexes parameter, it'll actually list everything, all of the indexes in the custom object. And so these are key value pairs. So at the key for myx0 is our meta exploit lib, myx1 is the meta exploit on this target that I'm running on. But this one, it's probably just an empty value. Like I don't know what this would be, but this key is our password here. So umperfl. So it's right there in cob, and we can get it again in the future. If we forget it or didn't save it or whatever. Cob saved it for us. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab this root shell, save it into custom object so I can use it from my home computer. So let's do cob set shell at b1. And just as a brief explanation, I know I've mentioned this in previous videos, but the at b is a alias or like a shortcut for the buffer. And 1 is the index for the object that we want to retrieve. So if we open up malp and look at the buffer, we can see that at index 1 is that root shell that we just got from Brutus. So now I've added the root shell to cob. I can quit y and quit again. This brings us back to home computer. Which, by the way, if you're ever not sure like where you are, what thing you're on, you can type shell. Or I thought you could. Maybe I have that wrong. So, that's going to be a... Yeah, it's supposed to be. I guess the macro thing is broken or something. You're supposed to be able to just type shell and then it outputs a bunch of stuff to tell you where you are. I have to mention that to Pluto. Because it's treating it like it's a macro. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. So, in any case, you would normally be able to do that to just kind of print out some information about where you're running. So if you've got like a bunch of nested shell instances, you lose track of which computer you're on and which network or whatever, you can usually, and again, I mean you will be able to again once it's fixed, just type shell and it tells you where you are. So anyway, so we'll clear, I'm going to purge the buffer. Again, this is on my home computer, and then I'll retrieve that stored root shell and pipe it into malp to add it back to the buffer. If we look at the buffer now, I've just got my root shell on my home computer, and that's it. So I'm going to drop an R shell on this just because in order to complete this mission, we do need to drop into a terminal. So I won't be running shell anymore. I mean, I guess I could start it up again by just, the rootkit's on here. I could just start it up again, but I'd like to be able to come back into here from my home computer to run, silentclean and stuff. So, alright, so we're running on the target now. I'm gonna silentclean, just clear the logs in case there's a trace, which there isn't, but just in case. And then, actually I'll do silentclean-d, clean up the rootkit folder as well, so that when I do drop into this terminal, I won't be able to start shell again. I'll have to exit all the way out. Oh, I meant to, and yeah, I'm gonna do my R shell on here as well. Which, let's see, I need the information, so that's gonna be the IP. And then I usually do PS and then the port. Alright, so infected. Great. So now I can get back to this with RSI from my rental. And now I will drop into the terminal. Does that just do it? No. How do you do that? It's something simple, I'm sure. Oh my gosh. Let's search for it. Oh, psudo. Psudo does this. Does that just do it? Yeah, I think if I just run sudo. Sudo, and then Y, I believe, will start terminal. Y or L, I guess. I don't know why both, but yes, I do want to start the terminal. So, okay, so now I'm root running on that target. If we take a quick look at what we've got in here, so we have students viewer, we have employees viewer. This is an academic records mission, so we want students viewer. Oops, students viewer. And that opens up this application, which we're in luck, it's not broken. Usually if there was a bug, it would cause this application to fail right now. Like, we wouldn't see this connected to, and we would see a configuration error right there. So, okay. He wants to change some grades in his academic record. For Wendell Kumarkeg. So let's find Wendell. That's going to be this one. Wants to modify the subject mathematics to change the note to approved at least. So for mathematics, they've got 1.1. I believe in order to make it approved, it's got to be at least 5.0. So let's just go way over. Let's give it like a 9.2. And then we'll come up here and hit save. Record updated successfully. So I think we can reply and have completed the mission. Yes, the customer is satisfied with the job. There has been an income in your account. Great. So I'm going to close that. Now I got to clean up after myself, so let's exit out of this. And then exit it too far out. Get back on the rental, run the shell again. And then I can get back into that computer even though I exited all the way out because I ran the R shell before, the R shell infect, so I can just RSI. And that gets my shell. So I want number 1. And I'm going to, we already ran sc-d, which is silent clean, and then silent clean with the -d option actually removes the rkit directory and shell from the computer as well. So there's no files left behind. And then I'm just going to run rclean one more time just to get rid of any logs, and then I will kill the process. So we'll go to RSI again. I'll do K for kill. I'm going to kill the process. I got to select the shell. So we'll start with 1, capital K. Did that work? No. 1 and then lowercase k? Yeah, okay. And then I got to put in process ID. So 3419 is the process ID. And if I run RSI again, okay, so now it's gone. So I cleaned up everything on that server, removed the R shell process, and we're done. So that was really quick, really easy. So let's go on. I'm going to do one more. We're only at, 13 minutes on this video. So let's just keep right on going. So this one, this next one's a police record. They want to delete the record entirely. So that's easy enough. We only have one address on this one. We only have the public address. So let's see what we get. I don't know why they give us a LAN address on these, because you don't really, I don't think you need a LAN to be on any particular machine usually. I think the way it's supposed to work is you can just run those utilities, those executables on any computer in the network and they just automatically connect. Or at least that's the way they're supposed to. So, supposed to work. So, in any case, we know we want the criminals database on this one since it's a police mission. So we got 192.168.03. There's an open port 3307. So let's just target -p 3307. And we'll run the database on this one. It's one command instead of several. And we got, what did we get? We got a root computer, we got a user shell. All right, user shell, that's plenty. So let's, it's in the buffer already. So I only run zap because I just want to look at the list formatted like this. But I don't have, zap is usually used to run one of these exploits. Like I would enter the number. But they've already been run, so that we don't need to run them again. I just use zap because I want to look at the list like this. But that user shell is already in the buffer. So number 4 is the evers, I guess is the username, shell. So we've got that shell on there. Let's see. What do I want to do? We got to run on there, but I also want to get a root shell. Yeah, I want to get a root shell. So we're going to upload the RKit. And if you're new to this, if you're new to shell, you haven't watched the other videos, the way you create the RKit is you run core-r. And of course you will have wanted to, after running shell the first time or compiling the first time, you will have wanted to run pwgen and then pipe pwgen space hash to generate the rainbow tables for brute forcing passwords, and those are also included in the RKit. So we're running on the target now. We're running an instance of shell that was uploaded via RKit. So let's just brutus. Well, actually, we can on this one. Can we just go for the file? Oh, I guess we can just tree. Tree will put everything into the transmission buffer. So yeah, we've got everything in there from tree. If I transmit, it'll send it all to my home computer. So you can see that it's deciphering all those passwords here in this window on the right. That's where I've got hashem running. You can also, let's see, do I still have, is it just at T? Well, let me see. Yeah, it purges the buffer. It purges the transmission buffer. So let me run that again and show you a different way to do this. You can actually gopher at T, I believe. No, I guess not. Hashem at T. Let's run hashem on, well, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to run hashem on this machine because I don't have any other like terminals connected to it. I don't have any other shells connected to it. So I won't be able to exit hashem gracefully if I run it as a daemon. But I can run it once with -f. So if I dump the transmission buffer, so let's see. Let me look this up. Help-s transmission. I think I can write the transmission buffer into the /root/pass file by default, like with a command rather, a transmission buffer command rather than actually outputting it. Oh, I can do this with poke. So poke is Shell's version of touch. So and you can pipe stuff into it. So I believe if I do just at t pipe poke /root/pass, maybe. No, is that not the right alias? What is the alias? At tbuff. Okay, so at tbuff pipe poke /root/pass. Oh, I can't. I'm not root yet. I'm still the user. Alright, so we deciphered the password. So normally if I ran Brutus, it would just give me a root shell straight from Brutus. So that's a lot easier typically. Instead of running Brutus, I did, I grabbed the hashes for the passwords and stuff. So I can now sudo dash s will get, and then I can just put the password, which we have it up here. 2121212 is the root password. So okay, so we've now got a root shell in the buffer. I'm in the context for that root shell. I'm going to send it to Cobb. Actually, I didn't notice that option before. So 0 sends it to Cobb. Oh, this is really nifty. And then I can just type in my key, and it's in Cobb. So if I quit Y, so I'm now back on my rental or my home computer. I'll purge the buffer again. And then I believe I can just do like what I would normally do, cobb get shell malp. And now that root shell is here in the buffer. So let's see. So let's go back to that. So we'll run. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to R shell it so I can come back in afterwards and clean up after myself. So we'll run 5 shell, no parameters. I'm sorry, shell, not... it's pronounced shell, but since it starts with a 5, I often think of it as 5 hell or 5 shell in my head. So, okay, so we're back there. I'm going to R shell it, and then we want the IP again, the public IP of my R shell server, and then the name. I usually just do PS, although people know to look for that, and then the port. If it weren't for the fact that I had to pass in a custom port, I would just do the IP and leave the default name, since the R shell client name doesn't really matter that much. So anyway, yeah, I'll do silentclean again. I don't know why I typed it out. sc-d cleans the logs and removes the rkit folder. So like if we look now, if I do tree/home, we can see that there is no rkit folder in the guest directory. But there's a lot of stuff in the trash folder. Like this user Gatinen, in their trash folder, they have a police record and a traffic network. In this Evers home folder, in the trash folder, they have police record, traffic network, and chat. I wonder if this is a display issue. Because I would be surprised if these files were actually in the trash folder. I wonder if it's maybe just sorting them weirdly or whatever. But yeah, okay, let's look. So I ran a c-d, just gonna do it again to make sure. We've got an R shell client running, so I can come back to it. So let's just drop back to a terminal. Still want, yeah, I do want to do it. Okay, so we're there. Run File Explorer just to see what's there. Yeah, so these are not in the trash. So we'll go back to home. That was the root directory. Evers has a chat log, so I just want to look at it real quick. You know, we don't need to for the mission, but I just want to look at it. So chat log, yeah, they're complaining about the OS, which in the game is called Ellipse. Lost important data, would use another operating system, but some programs that I need do not work on the other OS. So, okay. Oh, that's interesting. They have some, actually, some good tips for this, for Greyhack, for securing. I suggest you remove the read and write permissions on the folder where you do not want other users to access. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Not relevant to the mission, but just interesting. So, alright, let's do the mission. This is the bug I mentioned before. So this can't find program settings. So unfortunately we won't be able to complete this mission. I don't think there's anything you can do to fix this bug. I don't know what the deal is. Supposedly you should be able to come in here and enter an IP address and a port to open the viewer, you know, connecting to that database. But I've never seen that actually work, and you're not supposed to have to do that. So yeah, we're unfortunately not going to be able to complete the mission. But there's also this traffic network camera, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's new or not. I think I think it's been improved or added to since the nightly build merged. Like we have these traffic lights in here, which normally, like from before the merge, I don't think this was something you could see or do anything with. And you can like cycle through them all, the different angles, different streets. And I think you can like, yeah, if you hover over a car, over a vehicle, you can see the license plate number, and like the owner and stuff. So it's just interesting. Not relevant to the mission, and it doesn't matter anyway because we can't complete it. But okay, so yeah, done with that. Unfortunately, I won't be able to finish it, but I do want to clean up after myself. So let's go back to shell on the rental, and I'll do RSI to get back to that computer. We'll hit 1. I'm going to rclean to scrub the logs, and then kill to, oh, I gotta run it again. So RSI 1K, the process ID is 6015, and that will clean the R shell out of my R shell buffer. So there we go. Unfortunately, you know, these viewers are kind of buggy. Hopefully they'll be fixed soon. So we weren't able to finish this mission. I'm going to go ahead and just delete this mission. But we got to see it where, you know, the first one worked, the student bureau one. So hopefully they'll fix that soon, and we won't have to deal with that anymore. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video now. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you next time. Bye.